What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Real Junkies. I'm your host, Farhan, here again with my man, Vito. And man, 2026 it's been a wild year for film. It's been a great year for film. We've got some bangers so far this year, I'm not going to lie. And that's with the two biggest movies of the year haven't even come out yet. And we're already off to a great year, despite having not gotten Dune and Avengers yet. But we're knocking off another film on the Marvel list. Good old friendly neighborhood Spider-Man Brand New Day. Probably, I'm not even gonna say one of. This was probably the most anticipated movie of the year based on the hype I was seeing.
I didn't think that's what you was about to say.
Well, what did you think I was about to say?
Best Spider-Man movie, dog.
It's
motherfucker fire.
It's strong contender.
I'm not including the animated.
Okay, we're throwing like Spider-Man 2, the Tobey films, like we're okay.
So I'll say this, and then I'm gonna let you get back to your spiel.
All right.
I already like Tom Holland more than the other two because he looks like a fucking child. He looks like a young Peter Parker. He looks like a young Spider-Man.
That's a fair critique because Tobey did look too old to be. That's fair.
I like his Spider-Man better than anyone else's. Tobey definitely had a better Peter Parker though, and that's only because circumstances. I love his Peter Parker was so much better than his Spider-Man. But Tom definitely got on Spider-Man though.
You know, Tom has been great. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing bad to say about Tom Holland's portrayal of Spider-Man so far. Like he's actually been fired. But maybe it's just because I'm biased and nostalgic, and Tobey's who I grew up with. So that's who I'm going to put number one every time, regardless. I don't care, even if I don't really have a strong argument to support it. Because to be honest, like,
hey, at least you honest though,
because we've seen Tom Holland, but Tom Holland's been just given the chance to do things that Tobey was
so much more.
You know what I'm saying? Like the technology, CGI is better. He's interacting with the Avengers. Like Tobey just didn't have the same type of setup to do some of the same things.
I still don't think he would have though.
I feel like if you put Tobey in this, we would be getting the equally, if not more, in terms of a performance from Peter Parker and Spider-Man. That's just my take, but I'm gonna defend Tobey all day regardless. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can have whatever opinion y'all want, but Tobey's gonna be number one for me. But Tobey ain't who we here to talk about. So, you know,
4 Spider-Man movies and 2 Avengers appearances.
Like I said, that's hard to beat, but like it's once again the setup and the times. Like superhero movies are the norm now. They weren't like that back in 2002 or 2000 whenever that first Spider-Man movie came out. You know, it was a different dynamic and different climate in terms of film and how superhero movies were viewed. But I will say this is definitely Tom Holland's best performance as Spider-Man out of all the MCU movies we've gotten. This is, and to your point, I don't know if I'm ready to say this is the best Spider-Man movie yet, right? Even though this is amazing. This is, though, for sure, the most comic accurate live action Spider-Man that we've gotten, in my opinion. Like the most, there's so many scenes in this movie. There's so many shots in this film that feel like they were taken directly from a comic book page. And I mean that in a good way. Like it just felt very authentic to the character they were trying to portray. Like this was the most Spider-Man movie that we could have gotten. Just in terms of the circumstance, right? When we were introduced to Peter Parker and Spider-Man in the MCU, there was no Uncle Ben. You know what I'm saying? He's interacting with Iron Man.
Didn't need to see
off
that
rip.
Again.
You know, I get it, but like they don't even reference him. Like he's just not a character. I'm not saying we needed to see Uncle Ben dying, but he's just a non-factor, is what I'm saying, right? Like he's non-existent.
He talk about him, but not really.
You never hear the words Uncle Ben said across any Spider-Man movie in the MCU or any Spider-Man appearance.
We don't need to.
But that's what I'm saying.
It's a known thing. That's like Superman's planet blowing up. We don't need to.
They still showed that in Man of Steel, though. But anyway,
Batman's parents dying.
But once again, they still reference, even if you don't see it, right? Like it's not even referenced or brought up or discussed. Like it's like
they mentioned it in the first Spider-Man.
But not
they got to keep bringing that shit up.
They don't. The words Uncle Ben are never said at any point. That's what
they
I'm
say.
Saying.
Uncle Ben.
No, how much you want to bet? How much? Because I was waiting on it. I'm like, okay, they ain't gonna show us him dying. They probably gonna like name drop him or something. And I'm like, damn, they don't say this man's name at all.
Well, like,
they may,
right?
Yeah, I think they may mention like that Aunt May used to date somebody or that she used to be with somebody, but they don't ever say. That's like about it. That's all you get. They don't ever actually say the words Uncle Ben or reference him or talk about Peter's relationship with him. Like that's just not.
You're right.
It's not a factor at all. So
hey,
to me, Fuck them. We ball. We already know what happens to bro anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
the
but
only
like,
reason I don't have a problem with it is comic books, bro. Like,
yeah, I get it. We know the story already. You know what I'm
well, no,
saying?
no,
So I'm
I'm
not
saying
tripping
like
about it.
it might be a different story.
Yeah, but that's and that's what I'm saying. Like we were introduced to MCU Spider-Man just differently than the other two already, right? We're already kind of not changing his backstory, but just kind of not mentioning certain parts of his backstory that are well known. He's interacting with the Avengers off rip. Like his first appearance ever in the MCU, he's talking to Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? So like you don't really get to see the street level by himself figuring it out Spider-Man in the MCU. That's just never a thing really. Like he's introduced in Homecoming, he's with Tony Stark. In the second movie, he's with Nick Fury, or what we thought was Nick Fury at the time, and agent and other members of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he's fighting Mysterio. And then in No Way Home, he's with Doctor Strange trying to solve a multiversal crisis. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really get that street level, I'm just stopping a couple bank robbers here and there, Spider-Man, that is, to me, a core part of the character and part of what makes the character so relatable and so endearing to audiences. This movie, I thought, was the best representation of that we've gotten, at least from, like I said, the MCU version of Spider-Man. You know, this is a very different version of Peter than what we've gotten in the previous MCU versions of those films. Like I said, he's more by himself now. None of the people in his life that have been core characters prior to this remember who he is. So like MJ and Ned are in the movie, but they have no clue who Peter Parker. They know Spider-Man exists and he seems cool, but they don't know that used to be like their best friend, right? And then on top of that, he's completely alone in the sense of he doesn't have a lot of the same tech that he used to have access to, right? I mean, he has his own, voice
He's
in the
smart as
suit.
shit.
Yeah, but like he doesn't have the Stark tech and all the other crazy stuff that you saw him have. He has a very basic Spider-Man suit doing very base stopping bank robberies, all type of stuff. And on top of that, he's going through a very weird mutation at the moment that's altering his body and that he's trying to figure out what's going on and changing his mood, kind of turning him into a little bit of a different person. You see that happen in certain scenes. So there's a lot happening with Peter in this movie. And by the way, he's facing a villain that he can't see or that he can't really like. This ain't a villain that you can just square up with and just go, all right, let's just throw the ones. Like, this is a villain who's controlling people's minds and manipulating people through, telepathic powers. They're not actually physically there a lot of the time. So there's a lot of factors in this movie that I think make it different from the other MCU versions of Spider-Man we've got. And to me, this movie, for the most part, knocks everything out the park. I only have like maybe one or two real critiques of this. Other than that, this was about as perfect of a Spider-Man movie that we could have gotten. I'm just talking about the way the characters portrayed. This is about as perfect of a portrayal of Spider-Man as we could have gotten. And also the one of my main concerns prior to coming into this movie was when I saw the trailer. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. It's a lot of characters, a lot
Gotta
of
stop watching
villains.
trailers.
It's a lot of villains. It's a lot of side characters. I'm like, I got Hulk in here. I got Punisher in here. Like, it's a lot. But when you watch the film, it fits. And you realize that not all of those characters are like, not everyone has major roles, right? But particularly with Hulk and Punisher, I thought the way they executed both of them was very well, especially Punisher, who I was most concerned with. Because we know Punisher is not a PG-13 character.
Right.
So him being brought in,
where does he fit in this?
Where does he fit into this? Like, this is Spider-Man's a very, witty, jokey type of character. I mean, you got Frank Castle, who is just mass murdering criminals left and right. Like, those two tones don't really mesh well together, you would think. But I think they do a good enough job of trying to take Punisher, who's definitely an R-rated character, and tone him down enough to where he fits into a PG-13 movie, but not too much where he doesn't feel like Punisher anymore. I think they strike a good balance with that. There's some scenes where I went like, all right, they kind of nerfed Punisher a little bit too much for me. There's some scenes like that in here. For the most part, I think they executed him well. Really.
There was a few scenes where I'm like, all right, he ain't got to be all aggro in this bitch either, though. You probably know what scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't even know why they put that scene in there. But shout out to our Black Queen Zendaya.
Shout out to Zendaya.
Another shout out to Liza Koyon Zayas, who's also on a bear. And then we gotta shout out the mayor of New York City, Sheila Rivera.
Got to.
Because this obviously takes place after the events of Daredevil Born Again season 3, correct?
Season 2.
Season 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
That was a good touch that they had her in there too.
I think so like even though Aunt May died in the last movie, this one was a lot more emotional
Yes.
than
Infinitely more emotional.
any Spider-Man movie we've gotten.
Yes.
Any. It was so much going on. And like I said, he can't see his enemy. You know, he can't touch his enemy. So his enemy is fucking him up. And without giving out too much detail, Sadie Sink is exactly who you think she is. she is exactly who you think she is. And I love the way that they did it. It's a lot going on in this movie, dude. But the way that they're able to keep it focused on the main story and driving forward towards it. I didn't like that we didn't see much of this Scorpion in the other movies. We got him in this one.
Yeah,
you know?
you saw him fully in full view this time.
And he got a good I think he got a good showing. It's so many little things that here and there that are done throughout this movie, and they keep it focused. Like I said, plot, 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 plot. We talked about it multiple times where we watch movies and they have multiple things going on at the same time and we get lost in it. I think one of the things that helps is having that director, Destin Daniel Creston or Creighton. I don't know how to say his name. But he directed Shang-Chi. He directed 2 episodes of Wonder Man. So this is his 3rd MCU. So he, I'm guessing Feige has sat down with everybody he has directing from like, hey, this is the go. And but the story, the way it's laid out, man, like I said, it's just good. I'm trying to sit here thinking like, I'm trying to think. I don't even remember the opening of the movie at this point now.
It was that scene with the tanks where he
that was the opening scene?
It was a very early scene, yeah.
What was the first thing we seen? It was him on top of the it was him hanging upside down, right? In the suit?
It was him on a rooftop, yeah.
So I don't think I have any critiques, honestly. And while we talk, I'm sure something may come up, but I thought again, so we already said that he doesn't have a relationship with MJ and Ned initially. But at some point in this movie, he does have I don't even want to say has a relationship. He has a meeting with Ned and MJ. And they showed one of those scenes in the trailer where he goes to their apartment. And you see how, like I said, there's a connection there. They don't know what it is, but there's a connection there. I thought one of the funniest things was Ned trying to figure out who Spider-Man is. And he and it's funny because they're mapping it out and they're like, Spider-Man has saved us so many times. It's like once is, it happens. Twice is a coincidence. 3 times, like nigga followed us across Europe and saved us multiple times.
Yes.
So like I'm really mad how the last one ended. I didn't want everybody's memory wiped, but this made so much more sense. Like with this movie, and I don't think this movie could not have been written already, dude. It could not have been. And the way that they fleshed it out in this one, I was thinking that maybe they were gonna put it make it right again. And that's not something that happened. I am gonna say one thing though. People are online talking about it's a plot hole, it's a plot hole, it's a plot hole. There's a scene where Spider-Man goes to the hospital. Okay. And then when Spider-Man wakes up, his mask isn't on. And they're like, oh well, how didn't anybody know he was Peter Parker? He was Spider-Man, who was this, who was that? There was one man with him, the Punisher.
Yeah, no one else saw his face.
He not let and when he walked in the hospital, he had his mask on. He is not letting nobody take that nigga mask off without I mean, I'm really surprised that he seen who he was, and even that shit was funny.
Yeah,
like
I ain't gonna lie though. One more thing too with Punisher, like, ain't he supposed to be a fugitive? Like, how is he able to just move around society like just like with no consequence? I ain't gonna lie, they've been kind of milking that for like a few different things now at this point, like through the shows and through this film. Like he just been kind of able to just move and groove at will, and this movie kind of keeps him they don't have him out in the open that much, honestly. A lot of the scenes where we see Punisher in this film, he's ducked off somewhere. But that's more like a recurring theme I've just seen throughout the TV shows and this, where Punisher is just kind of able to maneuver a little bit too comfortable for someone who's supposed to be a fugitive.
I seen somebody else say that, but you got to think about it. I mean, so one, we know at the end of Punisher season 1, and I really have to remember where I was in the I was rewatching all the Marvel properties for the MCU. So the TV shows, the movies in order. And I think I'm on Jessica Jones. I have no clue where I left off at. But at the end of season 1 of Punisher, they basically wipe his file clean. But again, we got a season 2 after that. I don't remember what happened in season 2. But somebody else that was another post online, and somebody in the comments said, "You think them niggas want to go up against the Punisher?"
That's a valid
Like
rebuttal to that.
he walked into the
It could
motherfucking
just be one of them
hospital.
like, oh, that's Frank Castle. Yeah, I'm gonna mind my
Yeah,
fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be that too.
he killing killers.
Yeah.
He not only killing killers, bro. This nigga is a
Yeah, no, he's a maniac. He's a maniac. There's even a scene. There's a scene where Sadie Sink's character goes into his mind. Is like, oh no, this dude has issues.
Yeah.
And mind you, she's the villain of the movie. You know what I'm saying? So like that's real. I will say, like, because Punisher was one part of, like, I think some of the effective use of side characters in this. We haven't even gotten to like the other most effective side character, which is the Hulk. He worked in this, he worked well, because we've been complaining as MCU fans that Hulk has been kind of nerfed, right? Like we started out with Savage Hulk. We got him through two and a semi-quarter Avengers films, because
not even a quarter, nigga.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like,
that was not even a quarter.
Yeah,
that nigga,
2 in the opening scene of some Avengers films. Yeah. And then after that, it's been more Professor Hulk and a bunch of other weird stuff that's been going on.
Age of Ultron.
And then literally the first scene of Infinity War, and that's it as far as the Savage version of Hulk. Since then, he's been different. We'll just say that. Professor Hulk, I get Professor Hulk works in some aspects, and I get why in Endgame you wanted Professor Hulk, because it made sense for that story, for Bruce Banner to be a little bit more control of his Hulk body. After that, though, I think sticking with that for as long as they did was a mistake. And I think one of the best things this film did was go, all right, y'all, that was fun while it lasted. Let's get back to Hulk as we all know him and as he should be represented. And I thought it was cool at first just watching the Bruce Banner, Peter Parker interactions, right? Because they're both very intelligent people, both science nerds, right? So you get to see them bond over that. But also when they kind of hint at it right at first of, like, Bruce has this inhibitor on, and you see it in the trailer of, like, this is really what keeps me in control. And the movie is very, very strongly hinting, like, yeah, at some point this shit's gonna go left. Like, the movie's not really being subtle about it. Like, yeah, at some point all this shit's gonna go left. And the scene where you finally do see Bruce lose it and go full Savage Hulk, that is actually, to me, the best scene in the movie. That was done perfectly. Yes. We got a triple threat match between Spider-Man, the Punisher, and the Hulk. You can't tell me that's not a comic book nerd's dream that we got that in live action. Everything about that scene was great.
Is when, because there's a scene where Hulk goes back to Banner, and he starts freaking out, and Spider-Man's like, just push her out your head, just fight. He's like, it ain't her, it's the other guy. It ain't her. Which we know he always refers to Hulk as the other guy.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was real cool. I want to backtrack 1 second real quick. There's I don't want to say it was emotional, but I thought it was a real strong scene about Peter, because in this movie, like you said, Peter's by himself, and he's by himself by choice.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't, like I said, people forgot about him, but he could have rectified that. Again, it's been 4 years since what was the last movie called? No Way. It's been 4 years since No Way Home came out, or No Way Home, the events of No Way Home. So he's had time. At the end of No Way Home, he went to the diner to go see MJ, and then he walked away.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very alone in this film. Like, that's like a very big part of his character arc like you said, it's by choice. Like, he's Spider-Man.
No
and that's it. There's no
MJ, no MJ, no nobody. Harry. But back to Banner. There's a comic book where and I've seen panels. I didn't read this one, but I've seen the panels for it.
Okay.
Where people forget who I don't know if they forget who Peter Parker is or who Spider-Man is. I think it's Spider-Man. And when he goes up against the Hulk for a second, and he realized he like, oh, you remember me? And he's like, yeah, Hulk knows Spider-Man, Spider-Man friend.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a parallel into this in this movie, but it does not happen like that.
Yeah, it don't happen like that. It's a lot more vicious.
Like Spider-Man was about to get his ass murked, dog.
Yeah, there's a parallel to that. It's a lot more vicious though, for sure.
I did not think this was gonna be an emotional movie like that. There's so many scenes that, like I said, between there's one between the Punisher and I was about to say Hulk, the Punisher and Spider-Man, and it's two between MJ and Spider-Man, or I'm just say MJ and Spider-Man. I'm not gonna get too much away. It's two between MJ and Spider-Man, and then he also has a liaison who's I didn't read off her name and didn't even get her character's name. I just wanted to make mention that she was in The Bear, which they are on their final season. It's out now, and I'm trying so hard not to watch it because I do not want it to end. And I know you haven't watched it yet, but The Bear is
I've heard good things.
Some of the best. It's probably one of the best shows on TV right now. So The Wolf. So The Wolf is like a liaison. So
Jean DeWolf, the detective.
Yeah. Think Batman and Commissioner Gordon. You know, she when she talks to him, she's like, "Yo, you gotta figure something else out because he gets messed up." And she's like, "Yo, you need to take some time off. Take some time off." So like he has people. I don't even want to say he has people in his life because she don't know who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
She just know that he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And the issue is, and I'm not gonna get into everything because again, like why he's making this transformation, and how he fixes it all. It's so many things that go into this movie, dog. So I'm so confused. I've been online and I've been watching people ask questions on like Twitter and shit, like, oh, what happened here? What happened here? Like, bitch, did you watch the movie? Like, I don't understand. Like, there are certain movies that I told you I might have been on my phone when we watched How to Make a Killing or some shit. That's the name of the movie with Glenn Powell. Because it's Glenn Powell. Not that excited. I'd have been on my phone. I really try not to. But a fucking Marvel movie, dog, there's no way you should be on your phone because there are so many things that may happen that may happen in this movie that alludes to something in another movie. I didn't even notice that they said there's a character who becomes a superhero in this movie, and she has like 15 seconds of screen time. They don't. It's real quick how they do it, and that's probably one of my favorite things about Marvel is how quickly they'll throw an Easter egg in there. And most Easter eggs, I don't want to say most Easter eggs because they're not easy to find like that. But Easter eggs, you can figure them out. But they throw shit in there.
You know, yeah.
They throw shit in there like you got to be deep in your comic bag to figure out what the fuck is going on. And the last thing I'm going to say, which I will say a critique is, we know that Bill Metzer is a enemy to mutants. How are they going to introduce the whole of mutants into this movie? Because I said, somebody said that and I said, I think they're already there because if you remember in Captain America Winter Soldier, when the when the helicarriers went up in the air and it was about to shoot all the empowered people, one of the names on the screen was Scott Summers.
I didn't even peep that.
So I think the mutants have been here. They just ain't been, they either been real covert or niggas just ain't give a fuck. So I think they've been here. I'm ready for fucking Doomsday. Like that, this made me so much more excited for Doomsday.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. I think this definitely made me excited for Doomsday more.
Zendaya, Tom Holland are having a hell of a year.
Both of them are on fire right now.
And then fucking John Bernthal was just in another movie with them. And then
and mind you, Zendaya is still in Dune 3 coming out. And Florence Pugh's in Dune 3.
And so is Florence Pugh. And I didn't even notice.
And Robert Pattinson.
Who was in fucking Odyssey. Bro,
they're on a crazy run right now. Can we get some more actors in
this motherfucker, dog?
They're on a crazy run right now. But there is one thing I did want to go back to that you were touching on was just the emotional depth in this movie. I thought that was like, this is a very heavy character focused film, especially for it to be a comic book movie. I almost want to compare it to like what they did with Black Panther Wakanda Forever was they took it and made it more a character study film than a superhero movie.
Yeah.
And I thought, to me, that's why Wakanda Forever worked. It's like, okay, if we're going to make a Black Panther movie that doesn't have Black Panther, how do we still make it compelling?
No. It had Black Panther. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You know what I mean.
No, nigga. I don't know what you mean. Don't
you
do
know
that.
what I mean.
Don't
bro.
do that to Shuri. Don't do that.
First of all, Shuri didn't become Black Panther until like the end. But either way.
but did she become Black Panther?
Sure.
So did you feel like it was a comic book movie?
Yes, it's a comic book movie, but I didn't think it was a very effective Black Panther movie. But to me, like Black Panther's not really in the movie like that. That to me, that's like the parallel. You know what I'm saying? That's to me like the parallel. Now, granted, this is different because Spider-Man. There's no absence of Spider-Man in this.
No,
but
you barely see Peter Parker.
Yeah, like I think there was more. That was more the blueprint that I think Marvel followed here. Of we're going to take a very character focused approach to this, and while it's a character focused approach in the context of a comic book and a superhero movie, it's going to be very heavily character focused. This is going to focus on Peter and his loneliness and how the sacrifice of being Spider-Man has impacted his ability to have a personal life or lack thereof. Him coping with the fact that the two people in his life who mean the most to him have no clue who he is. Him coping with the fact that he's going through this weird mutation that's transforming his body and his psyche, and tackling the fact that even amongst his peers, right, the other superheroes who he's worked with before, they also have no relationship with him, and he's cut off from Tony now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's literally cut off from everyone. So
he got a relationship with the one nigga he shouldn't.
Literally the one, the one person who you shouldn't have a relationship with in the Punisher is who he's closest with in this movie.
I was hoping it would have been Daredevil.
Yeah, I would have liked that too, but I think Punisher works well in here as well. I just think that there's just a lot of things from a character standpoint that I thought they executed very well. Not just with Peter, but also with Sadie Sink's character as well. I thought she had some like very emotionally heavy moments in this movie that were very effective. And then even some more subtle ones with the Punisher as well. Like his are a lot more subtle, but there's a scene where his family gets brought up and you immediately see his entire mood.
That's the scene I was talking about where I did not think it needed to be in there.
I thought it needed to be because I think it adds a lot more to who his character is and why his character does what he does, right?
So
because not everybody has watched, you got to keep in mind, not everyone's watched these TV shows, right? Not everyone is sitting up and has seen all the seasons of Punisher, all the seasons of Daredevil Born Again. Like this is
a film. They should fucking Spider-Man, dog.
This is Spider-Man, bro. You can't expect this movie.
This means something to me. This shit means something to me. The first.
But you gotta keep in mind, bro. You gotta keep in mind.
Watch the first season of The Punisher, dog.
This is a film that transcends comic book nerds. You get what I'm saying? Like this is and first of all,
Spider-Man.
The MCU in general has transcended comic book nerds, but it's particularly Spider-Man, right? This movie transcends diehard Marvel or MCU fans, right? So I guarantee you there were a lot of people in the seats watching, maybe not a lot, but there were enough people in the theater watching this movie that didn't really watch Jon Bernthal as Punisher like that. Or if they have, they maybe saw like a season here or there. So I think having that staying in there gives context to the people watching this movie. And also just in general, this is a slightly different Punisher than the ones we've gotten in the shows. He's not as vicious, right?
So I think
adding that in makes his character, it gives the character a little bit more weight for the film.
All right. Did you watch the fucking special yet? No, you did not.
No, I have not.
No. It's a fucking hour, dog.
I'll get to it eventually.
The second question
is, yet.
His family gets brought up twice.
Mm-hmm.
He has a scene with Spider-Man. He has a scene with MJ. Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the scene with MJ.
Spider-Man.
I'm talking about the one with MJ.
I didn't think that needed to be brought up then. I thought it was like, I felt like he was aggro at that point. I don't think it needs to be brought up right there. But when he had the scene with Spider-Man, that's when he goes into detail about you doing this shit on your own.
Yeah.
If my people were here, I would not be doing this shit. I don't do this shit for fun because I like it.
Yeah.
You know,
that was a great scene as well.
I guess that's a little bit of a spoiler for y'all, but if you're watching this shit, you watched the movie already.
We would hope.
But I ain't gonna give away too much. Just in case. Just in case a nigga want to check us out and be like, hey, these niggas kind of funny. That nigga with the do-rag on kind of cute. I understand. All right.
This nigga here, boy. But no, I ain't gonna lie.
Can you pop my shit?
You know what? Hey, do your thing, gang. You know what I'm saying? Whatever helps you out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it, boss man.
What other emotional parts you got, real quick, though? I know you said it was a few. I mean, it's a lot. I think it's a lot. It's more than I wanted to. Like I said, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
With Spider-Man
I think
and MJ where I'm like,
yeah, that was actually the one I was gonna refer. There's a few emotional scenes with Spider-Man and MJ. I ain't gonna lie. First of all, I just want to say I don't like how y'all was doing my man's Peter Parker in this movie. He was
that's Peter though. He's not supposed to be happy.
He was going nah.
He's supposed to be happy, dog. He's supposed to be broke, down on his luck, bitchless.
No, like okay, I feel you because there's a lot of scenes. Not hard too much on Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but there's some there's a few scenes in here where my man's Peter is just down bad, and I don't want to like harp too much on like Toby because we brought him up already, but there's several scenes watching the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies where I'm like, bro, I don't want your life at all. Like you
at all. You don't, even with the powers,
you're never having a good time. That's Tom Holland Spider-Man in this. Everything that can go wrong for bro is going terrible, and there's a couple of scenes with MJ without going too deep into it where there's two scenes with MJ, one in particular that is just so cruel. It is like so it's like so it's so cruel and messed up. And this is one of the first times in a Spider-Man film where like the emotional weight of Peter's romantic life played like a key role in how I felt for his character, right? Like typically in Spider-Man movies, whether it be in The Amazing Spider-Man with Gwen Stacy or prior with MJ, like, okay, that's an element of the movie, but it's not to me where the emotional weight is coming from. This is one of the first Spider-Man movies to me where Peter's love life was like an emotional anchor of the movie and really played a big part in how I was connecting with his character. Boy, I just want to say, if we get a Spider-Man 5 or the next time we see Spider-Man, bro, give this man a win. Please, bro, do not have him going through the shit he was going through in this no more, bro. He's had enough. He's had enough.
That's why niggas like Spider-Man, that's why niggas like Peter Parker.
Bro, it was like that meme when they were like, stop, he's already dead. Like, that's how I felt. That's how I felt watching him in this, bro. I'm like, please, bro, let my mans catch a break, dog. Like,
that shit was rough, dog.
That was rough,
bro. Rough.
Like, I really felt so terrible for bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really have much else. I feel like, I've touched on like the major things to me that made this film work and made it, to me, one of the best Spider-Man films we've ever gotten. I don't know where I'd rank this at in all the other Spider-Man films yet. It, still pretty fresh, but it would be no less than 3 for sure. And it's probably going to be higher than 3, to be honest. It's top 3 and it ain't 3. I'll say that. It's top 3 and it ain't 3. I'm gonna give this one.
Well, hold on. Last thing I want to talk about, the mutation. I was hoping that this nigga would have popped out 4 more arms. I was expecting that's the mutation I was expecting to
I thought they were going to go that route too,
from this Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Or this Spider-Man. I'm glad they didn't. And like you said, we got to get a 5th movie, bro. If we don't get a 5th movie, I'm a fucking riot. It might just be me, but
yeah.
I'll be down at motherfucking Marvel Studios.
It ain't gonna be just you. I haven't looked at the box numbers on this yet, but trust me,
people saw this movie. $1 billion.
Yeah, I was like, people saw this movie. So yeah, no, it ain't gonna be just you. Trust me. That Sony and Marvel or Sony and Disney, they gonna get together and make sure we get a number 5 to this. They not leaving that money on the floor.
That's the thing. I think that I think they're done. I hope they're done making Spider-Man villain movies at this point.
At least they came out and said they are. We'll see if they're telling the truth. But
I thought the rights were supposed to be open, so whatever's supposed to happen. But they definitely poured more into this movie than any other Spider-Man movie before, because, like you said, it was so many villains in this movie. We seen Scorpion, we seen Tombstone. I don't know who the nigga with the boomerangs is.
It's Boomerang. It's literally, his name is Boomerang. Yeah, no.
I got to figure out who came first. Was it Captain Boomerang or that nigga?
How comics. Yeah, and then you got Tarantula, Ramrod. I think those were the only. It was a lot of D level
bunch of
Yeah.
niggas in.
A lot of
Like I
D
said,
level villains in this.
you also had the Hand. You had references to Shocker in here, which I actually wanted to see Shocker.
I wish Shocker was in
there
here too.
again.
A proper Shocker.
And I was hoping Rhino, we would have seen Rhino, because we've never seen a proper Rhino.
No, to this day we haven't.
And hopefully the fifth movie, man, we get a Sinister Six, bro.
At this point, bro, Sony, let it go on any Sinister Six hopes.
No. I mean, I don't mean the Sinister Six movie. I mean the Spider-Man faces the Sinister Six.
I feel like No Way Home was that. I feel like that's what No Way Home was supposed
movie got
to be.
canceled.
Yo, yeah, no, I'm already knowing.
I
feel like No Way Home was that. I feel like that's what they were saying. Like, all right, this is about as close to this as y'all gonna get. I feel like that's what they were trying to do with No Way Home.
A nigga can hope, man.
I know, I feel you. I would like a proper Sinister Six too, but I think No Way Home was their way of saying, we promised y'all this. This is as close. Yeah, this is as close as you gonna get right here. So take it or leave it. You know what I'm saying? I was going back and forth on my rating on this because
go ahead and stand up, nigga.
Yeah, you already know where I'm going. I'm going standing ovation only because the Odyssey still needs to maintain its number one spot for me.
This nigga.
I need to be, you know what I'm saying?
This is crazy.
No,
we watched the BAPS last week, nigga.
I did watch. First of all, I was not the one that wanted to watch BAPS. But anyway.
I didn't want to watch it either. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just saying.
You're right. It was our production assistant, right? You're right.
Yeah, nigga. I'm just saying. We went Odyssey, BAPS, Spider-Man. So your little Odyssey thing need to get gone. This shit is an encore, bro.
And you know what? I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Your reasoning for it being a standing ovation is crazy.
No, that's not actually my reasoning. I'm talking shit.
Crazy.
But I will say standing ovation because I think this is one of, if not the best Spider-Man film we've gotten. I don't think I'm not going to put it quite above the Miles Morales animated films yet. I think those are.
It's hard to.
Those are in a category by themselves.
Amazing.
Like those are just different. But as far as live action Spider-Man films, it's between this and Spider-Man 2 for me as competing for the top spot. With Spider-Man No Way Home, with No Way Home being like right under there. Those would be like my top three right now. But this one is in that one or two spot. Probably two, because like I said, I have a bias towards Tobey. And Spider-Man 2 was like one of my favorite films growing up. So I'd probably put it in that second spot. But I wouldn't be mad at anyone saying this is number one. I think that highly of this movie. I just don't. I'm not going to go quite encore per se, just because I think
I'll give it 2 encores.
Yeah, encore for me is like, for me to give a movie an encore, I need to leave the theater feeling like, oh shit, like that's why I'm a film fan, was because of shit.
So you wouldn't
go
watch this again?
Oh, I would definitely go watch this again. It's a standing ovation. You would go watch a standing ovation again, but that don't mean I left the theater going, yeah, bro, that just reminded me why I'm a film fan. I didn't have that type of impact leaving the theater with this, but I still love this movie.
So
everything it does is it does everything it needs to do perfectly. It sets up all his characters well. It executes all his character development well. And also it does a great job of kind of balancing the two aspects of being an effective and great comic book and superhero movie while having those deep character moments that just make a good film, period. So for me, I'm going to go standing ovation.
I'm glad you said that, right? How you rate movies.
Yeah.
Because I think they're and I've said it again. You like the way you critique movies and the way I critique movies are two entirely different things.
Yes.
And I'm like, fuck it. This is a great movie. I enjoyed myself. I had a good ass fucking time. But I can also appreciate like the film aspects of it. You appreciate the film aspects of movies a lot more than I do.
That's pretty much our review of the best Spider-Man movie that we've ever gotten. I'll go with your logic on this one. I'm still going to give it to Spider-Man 2, but I'll get caught up in the hype for a little bit and have a little bit of fun with y'all. Let us know y'all thoughts if y'all have seen it, and where would you rank this in terms of the live action Spider-Man films? We're going to put the Miles Morales ones off to the side. Those are in a gold-plated masterpiece box all by themselves. We just going to stick to the live action ones. Let us know where y'all would rank this just in that group of the other live action films. I'm going to put this probably in a comfortable second, but I'm sure I'll get outvoted on that. Always continue to like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the support. And until next time, this is The Real Junkies. Peace.